Okay, quick crash course on the modes. Had some questions about modes. Everybody's favorite topic in music and guitar, and here's a take on it. Let's look at G. Before we look at G, please like and subscribe. Get back to work here. G, and then what you gotta do is find do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So you got a whole tone, half, whole, half. And we've covered this in earlier neck mapping videos. So maybe look at them if you don't know that. So we're gonna assume you know that kind of pattern. And now the modes is, that's 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6, the 7. There's 7 notes, is my point. And each of them has its own chapter of the scale. It's like a little notebook with 7 chapters. And the first one is called Ionian. Do, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Now the second chapter, second mode, is A Dorian. A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A. The third mode is called Phrygian. B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B. Play along. Or pause it if, and just like, so it's Ionian is the major scale starting on 1. Dorian is the major scale starting on 2. And Phrygian is the major scale starting on 3. And I had a student in the past say, well, geez, I'm running out of power. I gotta plug in maybe. Well, geez, isn't it just the same thing as calling it the major scale starting on 2? And I said, yeah, it is, It's just like, you could say Dorian, or you could say the major scale starting on 2. Though I think Dorian came first, probably. So, another person said, you got Ionian, and then you open the Dorian of the Phrygian, and open the Lydian, and Mixolydian it up, then feed it to an alien, I don't know what that one is, and then loc the door, Locrian. Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, Locrian, back to Ionian. Now, each of these, the thing about modes is the chord is setting the tone. So what I'm saying is, for each of these scale degrees, like here, the 1, there's a chord, a G major chord. I should have tuned my guitar. And then that chord is made out of the 1, the 3, and the 5. G, B, D, G, D, G, B, D, G. So like, each of these degrees has a chord associated. G on the 1, A minor on the 2. It's minor because it has a semitone between its root and its third. So you get that semitone, it makes it minor, A, C, E. I won't do that for all of them, but you can just G major, A minor, B minor, the 3. Ooh, I love that sound. C, the 4. D the 5, which could also be D7, E minor the 6th, or we could go down here, E minor the 6th, 6, 6, and F sharp diminished on the 7, and then you're back to where you you started from. So what I'm saying is, when you hear the scale against that chord, that's what gives it the character of the mode, the personality, the color. And that's what modes are like. They're just one color. They're just a one, I don't want to say a one-trick pony color. They just have one flavor. Like curry chicken is the same as, more or less, as curry lamb. So let's explore some of those colors and get a little more detailed about the chord mode connection. So you already know that one. Do, re, mi, fa, sol. Oh, I could tap it out. Do, now here we are on A minor, and we've got the Dorian sound. 1, 2, flat, 3, 4, 5, major 6, flat 7, 1. Sorry. So it's got a minor sound to it because of that semitone, but then it's got this major section, you know, of 3 full tones, and then another semitone, and then you get back to A. So it's kind of half sad, half happy, and it's also symmetrical. This mode is the same intervals this way. You know what I mean? As that way. And what was I going to say next? Yeah, it's happy, sad, or sad, happy. And you can also play an A minor 7th over it for the jazz. So it's got that kind of sound about it. Now, here's the thing. If you were to say play another mode that harmonizes with the chord, like the chord has A, C, and E in it, so you could play a C mode like C Lydian. Over top of the that would sound beautiful, and it would technically be a C Lydian scale, right? But it would just sound Dorian because of the chord. So the chord is dominating the color. And let's explore the color of B minor. I'm just saying, fuck you. So this one has a semitone right out of the gate, and it creates a kind of a flamenco tonality. And the 4 Lydian has that sound. Now, that's a sharp 4. And what that means is you've got a root and a third and a fifth, a C, E, and G. Now, you know, that note is a sharp 4. This is the 5, and this is the 6, and this is the 7 of the chord. So what I'm doing is saying, like, this is the 4 of the scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, the 4th mode Lydian. But now I'm analyzing it as though it were the 1. 1, 2, 3, sharp 4. You know, normal 4 would be that. Do, re, mi, fa, sol. So, that's like modal analysis. So you could say Ionian is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. And then Dorian, you might say something like 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, natural 6, flat 7, 1. And for B Lydian, you'd say 1, flat 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1. And all those numbers are relative to the Ionian of that pitch. Okay, if you had a B Ionian, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So when you've got a B Lydian or B Phrygian, as we do, you would call this 1 flat 2 because you don't have a major 2. Okay, etc., etc. And that has been, I've noticed in lessons. Geez, that's almost a separate lesson, but that's a big gray area, you know, in a lot of students' theory. That style of analysis, 1, 2, flat 3. When do I use it? What, you know, I like it, but I don't, you know, see. So, but essentially, you're just calling the 4 1. Anyway, 5. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 1. So very happy, very major, but there's this one bluesy dominant 7. We call that the dominant 7 because it's the chord is the dominant. Each of these degrees has a Latin name, I guess. It's like tonic, supertonic, mediant, submediant, dominant, submediant, leading tone, or some other term. And back to the tonic. So the dominant has this quality of a flat 7, and if you play that in the chord, it's a very jolly Beatle chord. But it's in blues, it's all kind of stuff. So that's Mixolydian. Really popular mode in popular music. Material Girl has it. Beatles have it. Where is it? I don't know, this is the first time I've ever tapped in my life. I could get into tapping, man. Okay, and then we've got E minor Aeolian, which, let's go down here. 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1. Minor. And this is also called natural minor. And, beautiful. Last one, Locrian, F sharp diminished. Here I'm playing F sharp half diminished, which means I've got a 7th in there, just to fill it out. Also, that's just what I think of now, but it would be just that, I guess. 1, flat 2, flat 3, sharp 4, flat 6, or no, 4, flat 6, flat 7, or no, flat 6, flat 7, 1. Everything's flat. Let me do that again. 1, flat 2, flat 3, 4. That's 4, 1, flat 2, 3, 4, flat 5, flat 6, flat 7, flat 1. 1, flat 2, flat 3, 1, flat 2, flat 3, 4, flat 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1. So beautiful. And it's usable. And where it's really usable is how I was, before I was singing, like say you're playing a D7 and want to sing on the F sharp, you know, a D or D7 has an F sharp in it. You could sing like a ba na 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 na, or play it on your guitar. It puts you on the third of the chord, which is a tasty zone to play in. And that's the other thing we want to talk about in this. This is an intro to modes, I guess. The other thing is modes are multi-purpose. They're like they're a tool, like a screwdriver. And, you know, you can use a screwdriver to turn a screw, but you can also use it to pop open a can of paint, or, you know, stab your enemies with. It's, and that's what modes are like. You can use them like the way we were showing them. It's kind of, that's their primary place to exist, you know, on the chord, but you can also use them to harmonize off of a given note. If, for example, if you have a Locrian mode in your, being key, if you have a Locrian mode in your muscle memory, then you can just play it off of the third of the chord, and, you know, play some. I find that very easy because the semitones are right on the beginning of each thing. So it's a zippy little mode fingering wise, and puts you on the third of the dominant chord, which is a really nice thing. You know, you shouldn't always be playing on the root, but it is nice with that Mixolydian scale. Anyway, but you could also use them to modulate and weave through chord progressions that are bumpy with maximum smoothness. And what I mean is, like, for example, if you wanted to get, like, from there, I'm in the key of B, C sharp minor, F sharp minor, B major 7, and then say I went A minor 7, D7, G. I'm modulating back and forth from the key of B major to the key of G major. You know, and I want to figure out how can I just smoothly play over that in one position. You know, modes could give you a position on your instrument. Like there's a Ionian mode for the key of B, but then that's the full position of it, I guess. Sorry. But then you could think, when it goes to G, I'm gonna go to the B mode that is in the key of G, which is B Phrygian, like we already said. And that version would be somewhere around there. So you could play, you can hear in the scale, you can hear the modulation. Go up the B. So it's good for jazz, is what I'm saying. Ooh, it's nice going up the B and down the B Phrygian. So that would be an example of using it to pivot between two keys that are not close together, but they have the note B in common. You know? Key of B has B as the tonic, and key of G has B as the third. So you think, you just think, if you already knew your modes muscle memory wise, and then you just did that quick bit of math, you could see, oh, those are two common things between the key, and just kablamo. But it doesn't have to be common too. It could be like, here if I was on F, the fifth, and then wanted, or F sharp. No, that's key of B's got a C sharp. not my best key. And then key of G's got a C natural, and you can hear how that. So there, you know, I went to 2, like the key of B has got C sharp as the 2, and the key of G has C natural. So that's the opposite approach of like having the color change be defined at the edge of each position. You really hear it that it's kind of proggy too. You could use it if you're trying to make some prog rock songs. Okay, I feel like that's a good enough intro. So obviously, you know, we could have a part 2 to this where I'm showing all the modes in scale position. And but already 20 minutes, man. And I just want to go get a snack. So I bid you adieu.